What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and we are back with another Total Warhammer video for you guys today. And guys, today we are playing as Malus Darkblade, the Dark Elves, versus Réponse de Leon, the Bretonnian Knight. I guess, yeah, she's classified as a knight, right? Yeah, technically. I mean, knights could be females. She's over here leading a very large cavalry force, and you can see we've got our work cut out for us, that is for sure. Now guys, as for the armies, let's quickly go over them. As for our force, we've got 3 groups of Dread Spears in the front lines, ready for action, ready to deal with the Bretonnian cavalry. I was like, I know he's going to bring a lot of cavalry, so I might as well make a front line of spears. In second reserves, we've got 2 groups of the Haganeth Executioners, anti-infantry, armored piercing. These guys were mainly for the infantry force because Bretonnia is known for obviously their peasants as well, and you can see my opponent has brought quite a few infantry units. Now guys, in reserve we've got 2 groups of the Dark Shards, standard missile infantry, armor piercing missiles. These aren't the shielded variants. I didn't think we needed them. If she did decide to bring any peasant bowmen, we should be able to not outmatch them, outrange them. As well as that, we also have the Siren of Red Ruin, the Blood Rack Medusa Regiment of Renown, anti-infantry, decent melee combatant. It also has the ability, let's just grab that ability, I can't remember what it's called. The Whale of Malice, that's that one. So it's an area of effect, strong damage to opponents, and it's very good against multiple combatants. Up in the skies, we've got a Sorceress of Fire with Fireball, the Burning Head, and the Fire Vortex. We also have a Scourge Runner Chariot, anti-large, very fast to deal with that cavalry that she's going to bring. I do believe her cavalry is faster. And then in Vanguard deployment, we've got a group of Dark Riders over here and a Dark Riders over here. I'm very glad we deployed these Dark Riders up here because, as you can see, my opponent has quite a force up here. 2 field trebuchets, 2 questing knights, sorry, a questing knight and a knight errant. My opponent's forces are very heavy cavalry. As for the sort of infantry, we've got 2 spearmen at arms, you can see there on each flank, and then in the center we've got 3 men at arms with polearms. We also have 2 Grail relics, a Damsel of Life, Réponse de Leon herself, as well as down here 2 groups of questing knights and another group of knights errant. So guys, this is probably one of my favorite matches that I've played in a very long time. It's a really good match and it comes right down to the wire. But without further ado, let's get into it. Now you can already see over here our Dark Riders have managed to shut down a field trebuchet. Now we only actually rout them, we don't shatter them. And you'll see that we kind of regret that decision later on down the line, but he sends in his questing knights and I'm like, we need to get out of there. We need to try and shut down this field trebuchet as fast as we can before the questing knights deal with us, because they are going to be the biggest threats to our infantry. You can see here we've already brought the Scourge Runner Chariot, picking off some of the knights errants. 2 of the knights have already dropped, and these guys are just going to keep firing in. But you can see my opponent's turn and tail, and he's running up the hill. We do pop a Flame Vortex over here as well, and it pretty much just incinerates this central group and then goes backwards. It's definitely not the effect I was going for, and we do pop a Fireball heading straight for Réponse de Leon, but that doesn't work, and it gets intercepted by the rock and the landscape. And up here you can see that our Dark Riders have pretty much routed. We do manage to shatter 1 field trebuchet. However, this one still manages to come back, only rout, and I'm pretty sure all 3 of those are still online. Now, you can see we send our Dark Riders up and around to chase after these Knights Errants. As well as that, we do send the Scourge Runner Chariot after them as well. And down here, we pretty much turn our infantry to brace for a frontal assault, because, I mean, this is a very strange, not strange map, but a very layered map. And there was no point in us chasing after her because we will be walking uphill, tiring our troops out, so we decided to go against that and just pretty much turn a face. You can see here we get the Dark Riders and we try to get a few little cheeky charges in. We've still got the Scourge Runner Chariot popping off on these Knights Errant. They were the biggest threats for me because, I mean, we probably should have spent it attacking the questing knights since they are slightly stronger. But you can see the field trebuchet is coming back. The Dark Riders do manage to deal a little bit of damage and get a charge in, but not before they're pretty much chased off by the questing knights. So they are currently routing, and at this stage we're like, alright, well, we're pretty much out in terms of the mobile force. We've only got the Scourge Runner Chariot, and that's about to be pincered here by the Knights Errant and the questing knights. And we get a really unlucky sort of landscape thing here, where we kind of just get stuck as well, and we can't really outrun the knights either. They do have a lot more speed than we do. So the Scourge Runner Chariot is pretty much out. We do pop another Flame Vortex here, and the same sort of thing happens. It just goes straight back and misses absolutely everything, which is really bloody annoying. Repens de Leonesse is chasing after the Dark Riders, making sure they don't come back, and they are pretty much gone. We do have our Sorceress on fire up in the air, pretty much to make sure that nothing can hit her, because, well, there is no sort of ranged units that my opponent brings. And at this stage, we decide to move our units over a little bit more, and we start to shift our spears to try and cover our flanks. Because we've got knights coming from here, we've got knights coming from here. You can see my opponent is bringing them around for a charge, and we've still got knights up here. So it's a little bit of an annoyance sort of thing going on right now. We do pop another fireball on Repance herself, trying to wear her down. She does have a Damsel of Life with all the healing procs, so wasn't really that great of a play by my. We should have just saved our Winds of Magic for a Burning Skull, especially down that line. And you can see that the Field Trebuchet is back online, and our bloody Haganeth Executioners have just gone down 4 models. So already there's 2 of these online, I think. 2 are online, yeah. So I really regret not shutting that down at the beginning with the Dark Riders, unfortunately. We do send our Siren of Red Ruin forward as well as our Dark Shards, because my opponent does have sort of the ranged advantage at the moment with the Trebuchet, because she can just keep firing in. So we do send our Bloodrack Medusa, trying to deal some damage, and we do try to, you know, deal with the large ones, but you can see there a solid amount of damage, taking out a huge chunk of our Dread Spears and whatnot, and an Earthblood does go down on my opponent's forces. But you can see he's got knights set up everywhere, so our flanks are very unguarded right now, and the main thing we were trying to shut down with our archers was the Grail Relic, due to it having the magical aura, providing that leadership buff. If we could shut that down, we would be able to make these troops rout a lot faster. We send Malice Darkblade in, straight into the Men-at-Arms with the Polearms, and the Haganeth Executioners are going to plow through these Spearmen. We do have our Dread Spears set up on the flanks here, trying to deter the Knights from charging in, but you can see he's got them already in a really good position. Our flanks are unguarded, so we do try to screen them out as best as we can to protect our archers, but you can see we've still got this pocket here. It is quite hard to try and get in there. We do pop the Whale of Malice, but I really should have popped it on a larger group. I was trying to get over here, but I unfortunately just played it a little bit too early. And you can see these Knights are just piling in here. We are trying our best to try and keep them off our archers, but our archers are kind of caught in the crossfire as well. Malice Darkblade doing a good job on the Damsel of Life as well, trying to shut her down. Haganeth Executioners are absolutely destroying the Spearmen-at-Arms and the Men-at-Arms with polearms, shutting them down. That's what they're there for. Anti-infantry, armor piercing. They'll plow through anything, and they are a very expensive unit. But you can see here the Haganeth Executioners have taken quite a bit of damage from the Field Trebuchet as well as the Questing Knights. So not a really good matchup there, but you can see Repance has taken a bit of damage. We do pop another Vortex over here and just miss everything because it's just going bloody array. So the Siren of Red Ruin's trying to pop off, but you can see Repance is heading straight for her. We do try to send Malice after the Damsel of Life, trying to shut her out and rout her, but we're fighting in the middle of the field, so we're at a little bit of a loss here. And you can see the balance of power is in my favor at the moment. We do manage to get our Dark Shards online briefly, firing into Repance as well, dealing that extra damage. Every little bit helps, and you can see the Grail Relic does drop there, and this one is also about to go down. Luckily, these guys were free of Knights, so they could shut them down. We do send our Haganeth Executioners after the Spearmen-at-Arms, but this Bloodrack Medusa, she just cannot get away from Repance. So we're like, at this stage, all right, let's send the Sorceress in. Sorceress can intercept. The Bloodrack can get into range and try to start dealing with some of these Knights. Malice Darkblade, he's over here. He's trying to deal with all these guys, the Questing Knights as well. So many bloody cavalry units. It's crazy. So the main thing we wanted to do was get the Siren of Red Ruin into range. She does still have half her ammunition left, so we're like, all right, let's try and use all that up. But an Earthblood does go down on all these forces here, and the Damsel does come back. The Sorceress is doing pretty good. She's just holding. That's really all we wanted her to do, just to hold the line there. We do manage to get a Fireball off. I don't know what we were targeting. I think we were targeting the Damsel of Life, but the Knights Errant intercepted that. And you can see we do send the Sorceress away before she gets intercepted by these Knights Errant, just managing to escape. Whale of Malice goes down from the Siren of Red Ruin, but a Shield of Thorns goes down, 60% weapon damage, 22 physical resist. Absolutely crazy. At this stage, we are trying to get Malice Darkblade in to deal with the Damsel of Life, trying to shut it down. And I think it's at this stage we do send our sorceress after the damsel. Believe we do, maybe not. Thought we do, but you can see the balance of power is slowly ebbing back into my opponent's favor. Haganeth Executioners on this flank are down. All we've got left really at this stage is Malice, the Siren of Red Ruin, the Sorceress, and this very small pocket of Haganeth Executioners. At this stage we were trying to move the Siren of Red Ruin out here into ranged distance so we can start firing in on all these cavalry units, but the Field Trebuchet is still online. It is starting to waver, however, which is a godsend, but there's still so many goddamn cavalry units. We do pop the Demon's Curse from Malice, trying to deal with all these other smaller units. And I don't know what that spell was, actually. I think that was Rapun's. You can see she's on about half health. She's racked up, what, 41 kills? And Malice is on 19. He's just trying to deal with all these bloody cavalry units because he's only our really cavalry counter at this stage. He is only one unit, though. But this match does go on for quite a bit of time. Like I said, it is probably one of my favorite matches that we've had in a very long time. Siren of Red Ruin is over here dealing as best as she can. You can see the balance of power is definitely ebbing into my opponent's favor. So things aren't looking too good for us. We do have our Sorceress back though. She was wavering. She's back very, very briefly while these guys are trying to shut down the Siren of Red Ruin. Malice Darkblade is in this central pocket dealing with all these damn units. And you can see we do pop the Blood Price trying to shut down Rapun's, because she's our biggest threat at this stage. I was like, if we can shut down Rapun's, we'll be able to take this fight. And a huge damage on it. And just like that, Malice Darkblade himself transforms into the World Eater. And this big boy, he ain't holding back. He is just unleashing everything he has on these knights. And these guys are taking a beating. Rapun's de Leonce is suffering quite a bit of damage. You can see 931 health. She is wavering. Just like that, the balance of power does shift massively into my favor. Now, these all units do start routing. However, he does have reserves coming in. Men-at-Arms with polearms. Rapun's de Leonce gets out. I'm trying to shut her down, but we are absolutely surrounded by spearmen, by questing knights, by more men-at-arms with polearms. The Siren of Red Ruin is sort of free of the Knights Errant briefly, while we routed Rapun's, and we sent her straight after Rapun's, just to get rid of her. If we can get rid of her, we can win this. Malice is taking damage. His health slowly drains while he's in his Tz'Arkan form. But, I mean, if we can get him shut down, if we can shut down all the units, that'd be great. And at this stage, everything is routing. I don't believe he causes terror while in this form. I'm actually not 100% sure if he causes terror. Do you cause terror, big guy? Maybe not? Possibly not. I don't know. We do pop a Reaper of Souls here, I believe, as well, trying to get a bit of health back. And you can see we do manage to shatter some of these, but Rapun's is still getting away. Balance of power is about equal, and it's bad news for Malice because his health is slowly draining. If we can't close that distance to Rapun's and get her to flee, we're screwed. And we've got no other units that can catch up to her. We've got the Haganeth Executioners, and I think, yeah, the Siren of Red Ruin does briefly come back, but only for a brief amount of time. She is over here popping off some of her range damage into the Knights Errant. And we were trying to shatter the rest of these knights up here with Malice. And it's at this stage, we're looking at the battlefield. Rapun's is all the way over here. We're praying. We're like, please, please rout off the field. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4 units left. If we can get Rapun's off the field, we should have this in the bag. That was a horrible shot from the Blood-Racked Medusa as well. We've got the Haganeth Executioners. There's 4 of these stoic warriors here. We do pop another Reaper of Souls, trying to absorb some health from them so we can make it to Rapun's before Malice dies. But you can see as Malice is dying, the balance of power is slowly ebbing away from us. Rapun's does manage to come back right at the edge of the world, same as the questing knights, and at this stage, Malice Darkblade, he's just fighting a losing ground. We're just popping whatever we can, and it's at this stage we're like, there is no hope of us making it, and that's pretty much it. That is GG's for us. We're like, we can't win this. Malice is dead. He's killed himself. Blood-Racked Medusa is gone. Same for our Haganeth Executioners. So guys, that was a really intense battle. If we had kept one of those Dark Riders in reserve, we would have won that because we could have chased off Rapance off the battlefield. Even our Sorceress, if she was still alive. But you can see here the Questing Knights racking up a huge amount of kills. Absolutely ridiculous amount of kills. We probably should have swapped the Harganeth Executioners out for the Blackguard of Naggarond, the anti-large variants with the pikes and halberds. They would have done a much better job at winning this match for us. Bloodrack Medusa, she did pretty good, 123 kills. Malice Darkblade and the Sorceress as well. If our Fire Vortexes hit better, I reckon we could have won that one as well. But guys, that is going to wrap up today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe down below for more. But other than that, guys, I will catch you in the next one. I got this soda.